Hello all, this is Jessica, and today's video is a video that I've never done before. It's gonna be a story time video. So since it's gonna be Valentine's Day and February is like the month of love, I thought I would share this story on how I met my husband. So let me just show you a picture of me and my husband, and we met back in 2017, sorry, at the end of 2017. So technically we met before then. So originally I met him the summer of 2017. In Dallas, we like to do a lot of day parties, and then when you're a woman of a particular age, I don't really like to go to clubs, but I will do a good day party. So I was at a day party or doing a Sunday fun day with one of my besties, Cassandra, and we had first went to a place in Dallas called Tacos and Tequila, and we were just like, doing us, whatever. And so she had got approached by these guys, and they were like, oh, we're about to leave, we're about to go to another spot which is called Quill, you guys should come with us. So we were like, okay, cool. So anyways, we loaded up, not with them, but in her car, and we got to Quill. So the guy that was trying to talk to her had a friend, and the friend was just trying to be all over me, calling me baby, trying to caress my knee, and I don't want you touching me. So I really was kind of turned off by that. I was like, oh, he's just so annoying. He's just too persistent. It was just too much for me, right? So I was a little annoyed. But anyway, so we get to the Quill spot, and they have a section, and how it is all of the sections are against the wall, and then it's a walkway. So when we got there, he was like, baby, sit by me, baby, sit by me. And I was like, oh my gosh, you are really annoying me. So I looked at her, I was like, look, Sam, I'm about to go to the bathroom, I'll be back. Anything just to distance myself from this man, because he was just too much too soon. So I got up and I went to the bathroom, and then when I came back to the section, there was this chocolate bald-headed man standing in front of the section, and he actually knew the guys that we were with. And so the guy who, baby, whatever, was like, hey, come back over here, move out. He was kicking girls out the section so I can come sit back. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm gonna stand right here. So I was standing there, and then this is the summer when Afro beats were really popular. They're still popular now, but it was I feel in Dallas, they started playing them in the clubs a lot more. So a song came on, some song was hide my face. I don't know the name of the song. But anyways, my now husband was doing, he's not a dancer, so I don't want y'all to think he was out there pop locking it, dropping it. But he was kind of grooving. He's a groover, okay? So he was grooving. Me, I'm a dancer. So I was like, oh, is that how you do it? And he was like, yeah, just whatever. So I started doing it. We started chopping it up a little bit. And he was talking to me and all this other stuff, and he was like, can I get your number? And at that time, I was still in a 6-year, or in my previous relationship, and we were in a relationship for 6 years. So I was like, no, I have a boyfriend, whatever. And so he was like, oh, okay, cool. So there's a lot of other stuff to that, but I'm not trying to have this video be 15 quintillion minutes long. So I'm gonna skip. So fast forward, it was that same friend, Cassandra's birthday. So it was Thanksgiving, whatever. Her birthday happened to land on Thanksgiving that year. So we had celebrated Thanksgiving with our families, and was like, hey y'all, let's go out. They're having a party at the Ghost Bar, which is at the top of the W here in Dallas. So we were like, okay, cool. So it was me, her sister, and my cousin Kenya. We all went out, and when I tell you, we had a good time. So my cousin in Kenya is engaged at this moment. She hasn't gotten married yet. No, she hasn't gotten married yet. But when I tell you, she was on that night, everybody in that spot wanted my cousin. I don't know if it was because she was unavailable, or she just was, everything was on point. Everybody was trying to holler at her. So we go to the bar, And the bartender's like, you know, whatever you want, girl, I got your drinks all night long. So anytime we needed a drink, we would just send my cousin up to the bartender and be like, go get us a drink. So by this time, we're having a good time. The liquor's flowing, we're dancing, we just grooving, you know, we bouncing around to people that we know, celebrating Sam's birthday, just having a great old time. So towards the end of the night, it was like a group of maybe 10, maybe 15, I don't remember how many people was with them, men come in. And it happened to be my husband and his friends, whatever. But at this time, I didn't know he was gonna be my husband. So they all come in, and we're like at a section beside them, and they had bought this section, whatever the case may be. So we get back up to go and walk, I guess, to the bar, to the bathroom. We were walking somewhere. You know, girls, we don't ever really sit still. So we're walking somewhere, and all of a sudden I feel somebody run up on me. Now, the way he tells it, he says he didn't run up on me, but I clearly remember him running up on me because I remember going like this, whatever. So he runs up on me and he taps me on my shoulder. He's like, where are you going? And I was like, oh, I remember you. He didn't remember me, but my dad said I shouldn't feel bad that he didn't remember me. That means he was attracted to me twice. Anyways, I digress. And I was like, oh, I remember you. I met you at Quill. And he was like, oh, you did? I met you before? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, y'all should come to my section. So we were like, okay, cool. So I think we went over there, and then like after that, we were like joined at the hip for the rest of the night. I think we were dancing. Oh, I was not in a relationship anymore. I had ended that relationship in October. So this is now November. So I've been single for about a month and some change. And so I was like, okay, so this time he asked me for my number again. I gave him my number, and yeah, that's how I met my husband. Okay. So we exchanged numbers, and then I think that night he texted me, or in the morning he texted me. He was like, hey, I want to see you. I want to take you out on a date. Excuse me, I want to take you out on a date. So I was like, okay, cool. And at this time, I was dating. I was like, okay, I got to get back in these streets. Look, I'm a woman of a particular age. So I was just like dating. So him and I went on a date. Our first date was amazing. It was nice to me. Our conversation was good. It kind of like, we not outline our expectations, but we talked about dating with a purpose and just dating differently and what we wanted in life. We just had really easy conversation. So after that, he kept saying, hey, when can I see you again? When can I see you again? And I think after that, this was pre-COVID, I had got a cold. And so he was like, well, I just want to see you. I just want to see you. And so my husband is a pharmacist. So I remember at that time, I was like, this is really convenient to date somebody who is a pharmacist, because every time I went to the drugstore, I would call him like, well, which one is better? Should I do this or do this? It just was like interesting. That was like my first time dating someone in a medical field. Most of the time I dated people that were either entrepreneurs or in entertainment or athletes. And then when I was really young, a lot of drug dealers, but that was enough. So we are dating heavily, and like everything is just easy going and smooth and stuff like that. So he had asked me to be his girlfriend pretty early on, but remind you, I had just got out of a 6-year relationship, and I was like, I just don't want to hop into anything, I just need to, kind of weigh my options. And so I remember praying to God. I was like, God, I just want somebody to do a grand gesture for me. Someone who makes me feel like they really are for me. They like Jasica for Jasica and all sorts of stuff. So I remember he was like, hey, do you think I can have your time on Saturday? I need you free and available by, I think it was 4:30, whatever. And I was like, okay, what do you want to do? He was like, it's a surprise. I'm not going to tell you. And so he told me what kind of like outfits to pack. And so I was like, all right, cool. I'll pack it. I'll be ready, whatever. So he picks me up from my apartment. And so the first stop he takes me to was a massage place. And so I was like, this is a little weird, the fact that we ain't been dating too long and you want to take me to a massage place. Like, I'm thinking he wants to do like a couple massage. I was like, oh, that's just a way for you to see me naked. But no, he actually dropped me off. He did not get any services done. He was like, I just want you to be pampered. So I got a full body massage. And then after that, he paid for them to wash my feet in rose petals, And then after my services were done, he was out there waiting for me. So I was walking to his car. He opened up my door and it was like this big bouquet of roses, of red roses. I mean, like, it probably was like, can you see? Like that big, So then, I got in the car, was super excited. So he was like, all right, we're going back to my apartment. I was like, okay, cool. Like, what's next? He's like, I need you to change your clothes, get into like your more dressier outfit. So I get dressed up and then we went to a restaurant here in Dallas called Eddie V's. It's a very pricey steakhouse. And we just ate, we had good conversations. And then he was like, well, we got one more stop. And so we went to this place. I think it's called like Tipsy Aftermiss. I have no clue what the name of it. But all they make is like signature cocktail drinks. So we had some more drinks and all this other stuff. And then, so I was like, this was such a great date, that it was so thoughtful. He's like, well, I'm not done yet. And I was like, well, it's nighttime. He was like, well, meet me at my apartment tomorrow. I think it was like 6 or something like that. And he was like, just dress kind of casual, cute, whatever. So I don't know if he said casual, cute, but like, because that doesn't really sound like something he would say, but I forgot what he said. But basically, get dressed. So where he lived at the time, his apartment was right next to American Airlines Center. So you could just like walk right across. So I met him back at his apartment and then he was like, all right, let's go. So we're walking. I'm like, at this point, I still have no clue. So we walk up to the American Airlines Center. He gets the tickets and he bought courtside seats for us to go watch the Mavericks play. And so I was like, okay, God, all right, this it. And so that is not when we became boyfriend and girlfriend, but I was like, okay, let me cut everybody else off because this is something special. This is something different. And he just always talked about a future with us. He always talked about his plans. If I told him something bad, he wasn't like quick to anger or any of those things. It was just pretty much like he was for me. It just was, I didn't have to work that hard for it to work. And then fast forward now, we are married. We've only been married since September, so not long, but we dated for about like 2.5 years before he proposed. But everything that I've said that I wanted, down to the house, down to my ring, I actually gave him or sent him a picture of my ring after we dated for like 3 or 4 months. So yeah, y'all gonna say bye. All right. So yeah, that is the story of how I met. So hopefully you enjoyed this story time. I plan on doing this a little bit more so you guys can get to know me, Jasica. But the next video is coming up in this like series that I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna share our wedding with you guys. So we technically had 2 weddings, right? Because my husband's Nigerian. So we had a traditional wedding or a trad wedding, and then they like to call it the white wedding. I guess that would be more traditional for Americans. So just kind of show you that extravaganza that it was. You don't want to miss that because we had a lot of like celebrities performing there, Nigerian artists as well as American artists. So let's go ahead and take care of some housekeeping things if you haven't already. And if you enjoyed this story time, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't, go ahead and hit your post notifications so you know when we post our next video, and hit that subscribe button so that you and I can stay connected. And remember, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Lavish Locs Hair, or you can follow my personal page at lavishlyjasica. You guys have a wonderful and blessed day. Y'all be safe, be blessed, and stay lavish. Bye.